Hey. So I'm recording this and waiting for Michael Barnwell to get back, and then maybe he can join us with a guest appearance. So we'll see. Hold your breath. Welcome to 2.2, Slope of Line. This is hopefully something you might remember as something we've dealt with before. So this idea of slope, and we're going to learn how slope can describe a line. Now we've already made lines, but you just haven't actually known what their slope is. So we'll figure out what that is. You can throw your name on your paper just so when I grade it, it's fun. Let's go ahead and underline our essential question here. How can the slope of a line be used to describe the line? And let's look here what slope actually is. Now we see slope is the rate of change, so that's how much it changes between any 2 points on a line. Let's underline. So it is the measure of the steepness. So if I ever ask you what slope is, you can say the steepness of a line. Now, in order to find the slope of a line, you have to find the ratio of the change in y, so that's the vertical change, or the change in x, the horizontal change. And this will always be written like this, with change in x on the bottom and change in y on the top. Welcome to the rest of your life. This is slope. Change in x on the bottom, change in y on top, or change in y over the change in x. So if you look at our little handy-dandy line here, you have some line. They chose some random points, and you see what they did is they counted over. They went over 1, 2, and then went, that's our change, so it changed 2 places in the x, and it changed 1, 2, 3 places in the y. So see, 3 goes on top, 2 goes on bottom there. So let's work here to find the slope of these lines in order for us to describe them. So there's 2 black points that they're going to be referencing and 2 gray points. So if you see the black points here, and they do the first one, so actually it looks like they'll do one of them for us just to sort of get us started. And we have the change in y over the change in x. If you guys want to write that, just sort of like right next to your methods, change in y. Remember that triangle's change and over the change in x, so you don't forget. Here they have the change in x already counted here as 1, 2, and the change in y is 1. So for the black points, if you were to put that as a fraction, you would have the change in x, 2, and the change in y, otherwise known as 1/2. Now let's look at these other guys here. It's just like vectors, separating them into their horizontal and vertical components. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So that's its change in x and change in y, 1, 2, 2. So if we put that as a fraction, we have a change in y over the change in x, and if we simplify that fraction, a equals 1/2. Holy smokes, look, they're the same. They're the same thing. Well, let's see if it happens again, of course. Now this one, a little bit different. We have the change in x is still 6. If we go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So still 6 there on the bottom. However, if you look, if we're going left to right, the change in y is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -6. It's going down. Remember, down is negative or left is negative. So -6. So -6 over 6 simplifies to -1 over 1, or just -1. That would be the slope, -1. Let's look at this here. If we see the change in x, again, is 1, 2, and the change in y is down 1, 2, or -2. So that's like saying -2 for the y over 2 in the x equals -1 over 1, or just equals -1. Same thing. Down yonder, we'll have c and d. Now here we have, let's find our dots where we're going to do. Let's do the black dots first. So we have over 1, 2, 3, and up 1, 2, 2, and that translates in change in y over the change in x. Now let's look at these dots that are really far away. Are you starting to notice how it doesn't make any difference which dots you choose? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Woo! Could you guess what the top's going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey! Or we have 6 over 9, which is actually the same as 2 over 3. So you can divide 6 by 3 is 2, divide 9 by 3, 3. It's the same. So now here we have D. Now we have to remember, remember the last time we had a line that went down from left to right? What was it, positive or negative?
Hi.
What's up, sir? All right, with that large interruption. Next on letter D, should be able to do that one yourself. Remember, here is your gray dot. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down to there, and then over 1, 2. If it's going down, it's probably going to be negative. It is going to be negative. And then don't forget your black dots as well. All right, finish that up on your own. Now with this fun activity, you are going to draw a line through the black point and draw a line through the gray point. You see how each of those have one gray, one black. However, you're going to use their slope. So I'll help you write these things out and to guide you. You can always assume that just a number is the same as a number over 1. So that your top is going to be your change in y over your change in x. So let's, through the black part, let's go a change of y of 2 and a change of x of 1. I like to go over and up first to remember that. So go over 1 for x and up 1, 2. And then you draw another point. And then over 1, 2, draw a point. And since they have a beautiful grid here, it's way easier just to draw all of our points. Over 1, down 2, over 1, down 2. See how this is getting a nice straight line through all of these? And I don't have my line tool on me. And you'll draw a nice straight line with a straight edge all the way up there. I reached the end of my screen. And we'll do the same with this gray dot. Over 1, up 2. Over 1, up 2. Over 1, up 2. See, these lines are really close together. Over 1, down 2. Over 1, down 2. See, my dots just sort of appear on there. See, we follow that same pattern all the way, and then we'll draw this line. It's a bit sloppy with all those points there. And voila, we've drawn 2 lines with that slope. Let's do the same thing, but with these dots that are a little bit farther apart. Remember, we have our change in y on top over our change in x. And it's negative, it means our line's going to go down. We'll get used to this. So let's go. With this black dot, we'll go over 1, 2, down 1. Over 1, 2, down 1. Over 1, 2. Now you see how I have to go over 1, 2, up 1? It's not that it's... If you think about going over to the left, which makes your x negative, and going up 1, which is your y positive, you still have a negative overall slope. You get this nice, gentle sloping line through here. Go ahead and do the same thing for the gray dot. For this one, we have a change in y over the change in x, just like all these, or over 4, up 3. That's positive. I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, up 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, just so you can see all those counts. And then down here, it's the same thing, except you see how we can't quite go over 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 1, 2, 3. I'd be way out over here. You can go the opposite way. Remember, if you go over left, which is a negative x, and down 3, which is a negative y, negative divided by negative is positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, down 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, down 1, 2, 3. It's good practice to count all of these. Hey, hey. And last one here is a slope of negative 2, or negative 2 over 1. Change in y of 2 for every change in 1 in x. Going down, so let's go over 1, then down 1, 2, because it's negative. Over 1, down 1, 2. And you can finish up the rest of this one. So in your own words, how can the slope of a line be used to describe a line? Say something like it's shows its steepness. The bigger the number, the steeper the line. Positive means it goes up, negative means it goes down. So explain it in your words. Last thing I would like you guys to do for me is to draw 3 lines with positive slopes and 3 lines with negative slopes. You guys can start, you can even go all through the origin if you'd like, and just have different slopes here and tell me the slope. So label your slopes just down here. All your lines and stuff, just label them down underneath. Tell me your slopes. And for 4 and 5, if you guys would just withdraw a line A with a slope of 1 and a line B with a slope of 2, and compare these for me. How would you describe their differences? And then we have -1 and -2. Compare those as well and describe those differences. See you in class tomorrow. I hope you had a blast.